Hi everyone, it's FSketcher fashion drawing tutorials, and in this lesson we're going to learn how to draw a dress from Jean-Paul Gaultier Fall 2017 Couture collection. And here it's like satin silk texture, very shiny, of a yellow color. So first I start drawing head. Usually I have this regular shape of the head. I start from there, and then in the middle I draw eyes, nose, face. I have separate tutorial where I explain how to draw a face in details, and here I do everything fast. So once I draw all facial features, I just adjust face. Here I need a bit longer chin, make some slight changes, and I want to draw a bit more square jaws. So next I'm adding eyebrows and ears. Next I count 1.5, 4.5 and 7 centimeters down, and I draw sloped lines. Shoulders to one side and hips to the opposite. And then I count the width, 3.6, 3.6 for shoulders and hips. 1.6 is the width of the waist area. So again, I have separate tutorial for the body drawing. Here I draw everything fast, so you have a glimpse to how I actually made this pose. But this is just a regular pose for the catwalk. So the way the model is walking. So here I'm not showing your legs in details. It's just your front ankle is in the middle. And next I'm drawing your arms. Right side arms close to the body, and the other one is a bit on the side. And as you can see, the outer outline of the arm is almost like a vertical line, where the inner outline of the arm is more bent. Now it's time to start drawing actually closing, and since my tutorials are focusing more on textures, here is the main part of our lesson. So I start drawing her cap. Her cap is knitted and it's quite thick, so that's why I draw it a bit further from the outline of her head. Plus it's quite high, so there is some distance on the top. And then we have this. So this is a part of your sleeve that goes as a scarf around your head. So basically I'm trying to show all those folds. So this is the inner outline, and this is the part that looks like that goes as a collar. And there are some wrinkles behind. And then all these goes as just like a kimono. So we don't have a separate sleeve. All this piece of fabric goes down as a sleeve. So that's like interesting cut. I love designs like this that don't have that many details, but the construction is so smart. Whenever you finish this drawing, you can start outlining. Some illustrators don't outline, I'm just showing the way that I draw. I color her cap with lemon color of Pro Marker. Next I'm using soft lime, which is just very pale yellow. I'm coloring the upper part with it since it has a lot of reflection, strong highlights. I just want to keep them light yellow. So next I want to draw some of the wrinkles, so I don't get confused later when I add shadows and everything. It will ease your job. So next let's outline your arms and hands. So you see the outer line is smooth and almost straight, and inner line of the arm is curved. Next I'm using coral. I spread coral marker on a metal surface. Now I'm using satin. And next I'm mixing satin with that coral, just like paints. And I'm giving this a bit reddish tint to the skin, as if she's just tanned. So you can actually add coral, but next you should add satin really fast so they can blend. So again, adding more mix of satin and coral. With a purple pencil, I'm showing some details like the tip of the nose and adding some extra shadows inside of your, like where she has this eyelid wrinkle, sculpting her face. With warm gray 3, I'm adding shadows under her chin, under her cap, making her eyelids a bit darker. And with fine line pen, I'm showing the hair of eyebrows and eyelashes. So next, with white ink gel pen, I'm just fixing some errors and adding some highlights and white freckles that I'm adding recently, just like the way it looks. Next, I'm using sandstone color. So it's like a little bit similar to khaki color, a bit lighter, or warm gray. So, and I'm showing the shadows. Well, inside of the wrinkles, and as this fabric is quite loose and soft, it just wrinkles everywhere. Not just where it's supposed to, like on her sleeve part and where the fabric is tucked at the waistline, but also on her collar, soft depressions, and basically everywhere. It's just usually, as you can see, highlights are stretched along that tension parts. Next, I'm using yellow, like the lemon yellow, on the top of that sandstone, so it doesn't look that gray. So it has our main hue. Next, I'm taking dark gray fine line pen and showing just some really strong shadows. So that pom-pom on her cap has some really firm petals with a strong shadows underneath. Just showing those holes. And I'm trying to draw really irregular shapes, not lines or something specific. So I'm just drawing what I see. And next I'm using lighter gray for those holes on this knitted texture that are not that visible that much. With white ink gel pen, I'm showing some highlights just in between of those shapes that I just drew, like lines and spots. Again, nothing specific. And I want to get rid of this line in the center. Just looks too strong. Next, I'm drawing diagonal line with dark gray. So we have this trim. With warm gray 3 that we used before for shadows on her skin, I'm showing really deep shadows inside of those darker spots. And some extra shadows on that trim. Next, I'm going to work with 3 pencils, brown, white, and black. So with brown pencil, I'm adding even darker shadows. So we just added warm gray 3 marker, and with brown we make super dark shadow, and with black we will show even darker ones. White pencil is for highlights. Basically, you add it everywhere where it's super light, on the top of the folds. So those parts that are left with soft lime color. So here I add brown, white, again brown. Well, for example, here black I'm using for really thin, deep wrinkles. Okay, let's work with her skirt. So here it goes just to the side because of the movement. It's like a rope style of dress. And here we have these diagonal folds. The fabric is wrapping your legs, and again the wrinkles go diagonally from your knees down. And I draw her shoes, adding the thick platform. Here we have also trim, so I'm drawing it as wavy lines, 2 wavy lines, and the sides. So sides are also wavy in the upper part because of those folds. I color everything with lemon yellow. So I decided to make her skirt a bit darker, skipping soft line part. So coloring her skin with satin and then adding coral. While I add more of satin and give it time to blend, because in the beginning everything looks like separate colors. You can always fix minor errors with white ink pen. Now again, I'm using sandstone to show darker parts. Basically everywhere, I just leave the highlights top of the false light. And here the false, they have the shape of the loop. So here too. And I'm coloring on the top with lemon to add yellow tint. And again, sandstone. So let's take a look at the bigger picture. Warm gray 3. So inside of what we've done with sandstone, but a bit less. Inside of those falls. Be brave when you add colors, because if you draw separate strokes and don't make a proper gradient transition, it will look just very artificial. So try to mix colors, try to blend them. So that's why we use sandstone, warm gray 3, we add some yellow, we layer colors, and they look more naturally like that. So on the other side, I work in the same way, but here I start from the darker color, which is warm gray 3. And I find it more difficult because when you start from the lightest colors, you are less likely to make mistakes. So now it's time to add some pencils, brown, black. We work first with shadows, so we start from these darker pencils. And highlights with white pencil. So when the folds in the lower part of your skirt are dictated by your movement. So we have these diagonal folds wrapping around your front leg, and the direction of the highlights and the shadows the same, as if those dark parts are falling down diagonally. So warm gray 3, inside of those shadows, we are darkening them. And in the same way, we're going to work later with pencils, like with brown, black, and white pencils. So warm gray 3 for her shoes on the sides. So next, with white ink gel pen, I'm just adding highlights on the trim. So there she has this twisted threads that are shiny. So we're almost done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Share your questions and suggestions in the comment section below. Subscribe to FSketcher channel on YouTube. Become a patron on Patreon to get access to exclusive content. Follow Sketcher on Instagram. Don't forget to visit fsketcher.com. Every day I'm filling it with inspiring and informative content for you. See you next tutorial.